Donald Trump has not even been sworn in as president of the United States yet, and already he has pissed off our closest allies in Europe and right here in North America. With his threats to, of course, annex Greenland, take back the Panama Canal, possibly make Canada the 51st state, and of course rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, Donald Trump is angering Canada, Mexico, and pretty much the entire European Union, according to new reports. Now, yesterday, I actually did a story over at Ring of Fire talking about how these world leaders, of course, are laughing at us. And in the short period of time since yesterday, more and more leaders have come out across the globe attacking and sometimes trolling Donald Trump. First, we had French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot, who made the statement to public radio broadcaster France Inter on Wednesday, saying that the European Union would not let other nations in the world, whoever they might be, attack its sovereign borders, adding that he doesn't expect Trump to invade the autonomous Danish territory. However, he added that the world is witnessing a return of the law of the strongest. And that, of course, came after Donald Trump would not rule out the use of military force to take over Greenland and the Panama Canal, which, even though the U.S. helped pay for it, we sent all the workers down, we do not own it. Okay, we didn't do that as necessarily a measure of goodwill. We did it to benefit businesses here in the United States. So we built it, yeah, we paid the money for it, but we've reaped most of the benefits from it. So that's why we did it. We didn't just gift it to Panama saying, here, we figured you'd need a new waterfront property. It's not what happened. But in Trump's eyes, that is exactly what happened, and that's a stupid way to look at things. Antagonizing allies is a crazy, if typical, way for Trump to start his second term, especially a NATO member like Denmark that has boosted its defense spending as Trump has demanded. Drawing the ire of France and European Union doesn't bode well for the future, especially with Trump planning to institute tariffs as soon as he is sworn in, writes the New Republic. But it's not just Europe that he's pissing off, and we desperately need our allies in Europe. We rely on them for trade, we rely on them for military strategy, we rely on them to let us even have military bases in their country. We are dependent on them, not necessarily the other way around. They'll be okay without us. We're pretty screwed if they close the door to us. Then, as Mediaite points out, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum countered President-elect Donald Trump's proposal that the Gulf of Mexico should be renamed the Gulf of America with an idea of her own that the Western United States be called America Mexicana. Here's what Sheinbaum said. For the next one, why don't we call this Mexican America? She was pointing to a map behind her. It sounds nice, doesn't it, right? Since 1607, the Patson-Jean's Constitution was for Mexican America, so let's call it Mexican America. It sounds pretty, right? She's mocking the words used by Donald Trump when he said Gulf of America. I believe yesterday President Trump was misinformed, with all due respect to President Trump, because I think they told him that Felipe Calderon and Garcia Luna are still governing Mexico. But no, in Mexico, the people govern. So she took a pretty good shot at him right there, of course, after smacking him down. And let's not forget that the United Nations actually recognizes that body of water that I have lived along for almost my entire life as the Gulf of Mexico. Donald Trump does not have the authority to just come in and rename an international body of water. That's not how that works. Congress could even pass legislation, but that's still not how it works. We do not own it. Now, if you want to rename the waterways that, of course, are touching the United States, you can do that. But the big old body of water down there, you can't rename it. You also can't just take over the Panama Canal. You also just can't take over Greenland. You also cannot just take over Canada. You also cannot try to overthrow the government of the United Kingdom, which, by the way, is also something they've been doing. He's pissing off the people to the north of us, pissing off the people to the south of us, pissing off the people across the pond over in Europe. He's pissing off everybody, and he's managed to do it before he's even been sworn in as President of the United States. And if he can do that much damage in just the last few weeks, imagine how bad those relationships are going to be by the end of his next term. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.